All right, welcome everybody to Cop Talk Live, changing cop culture. My name is Dominic Izzo. I'm a retired police officer from out here in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. I filed a federal lawsuit against my department. I was ultimately retaliated against and fired for a department policy violation. Took 3 years, but I won against my department, was reinstated, and then I retired. And now what I do is I talk about cop culture and a lot of the things that I'm passionate about to just change it. To change what I believe is probably the single greatest profession in the world, which is service to your public, your citizens in the form of law enforcement. A lot of my stuff comes across as cop hate, and it's not. I believe in pressuring the living shit out of law enforcement, demanding the highest standard possible of your cops, and saying, do the job that you sat there, swore the oath to do. I mean, you got to think about it. You have a group of men and women out there who have the right, the lawful right and responsibility, if lawfully necessary, to take away your freedom. And that happens on a daily basis. They stop you for traffic stops, put you in handcuffs, for whatever criminal activity that you've done. Because I'm not going to sit there and blame or attribute citizens for being utterly blameless. We are in a very, very, very chaotic time in America. It's very lawless in a lot of ways. And the cops take a lot of shit. But here's the deal. The one thing that I think separates cops from other people is the fact that you're in a thankless profession. You are lawfully, thanks to the Constitution, allowed to be hated. People are allowed to hate you, villainize you, call you a piece of shit, go fuck your mother pig, all this stuff. They're allowed to do that. They have every constitutional right that protects their speech and their attitude. Their behavior is a different story. And that comes across in criminality. I think, though, that every single cop, one of the things I can't stand is when the humans out there, or the public, they're humans. Cops are humans too. Dude, fuck that. If you can do things that the citizens can't and you're going to arrest them for it with no recourse, like texting and driving, right? How many cops pull people over for texting and driving, but you guys, myself included when I was on duty, texted in my squad car. You got a computer screen, you operate a mic, that's a bunch of distracted driving, but lawfully, you're allowed to. I know in Illinois, I don't recall what the law is, but in Illinois, I believe, and it may have changed, a peace officer who's executed lawfully in the service of his duty, he doesn't have to wear a seatbelt because he's got a pistol, right? And it's something along the lines of that. Why? When cops could pull people over for not wearing seatbelts, I don't understand what it is. The purpose of pulling somebody over is not wearing a seatbelt. It's a moving violation. It's an equipment violation. Tell me how not wearing a seatbelt can prevent motor vehicle accident, or forcing a driver to secure a seatbelt makes them so that you're gonna prevent a fucking motor vehicle accident. Because remember, the IVC, or Illinois Vehicle Code, or your state's vehicle code, has two things. It has moving violations and equipment violations, and those are the standards that cops could stop you for. Well, look at an equipment violation like a cracked windshield. You can argue, or you can articulate that a giant, big, spiderweb shattered crack in your windshield can obstruct your view, and you can cause an accident by not seeing the car in front of you slow. Great, I could see that. Tell me how the fuck a seatbelt violation is going to prevent motor vehicle accidents. The reason I'm stopping you didn't use your signal before you turned. That could potentially cause an accident. You didn't use your signal while turning lanes or changing lanes. That could potentially cause an accident. I get that. How's your seatbelt not being secured prevent accidents? So when it comes down to cops, it's like you get away with a lot of shit. I do not think that I'm asking for much by saying you're human, but hold yourself not to a higher standard like we were all told in the academy. Oh, we're holding ourselves to a higher standard. Hold yourself to the highest fucking standard possible. You should be studying the law all the time like lawyers do. You know how doctors go to school and they got to keep up on medicine nonstop because of the new treatments and ways. Why are cops not doing that? The training is abysmal. Why are cops not going home and spending 15, 20 minutes, an hour a night going over the Illinois Vehicle Code or whatever state that you're in, right? Okay, so I know it's 720 ILCS. So when I stop somebody, said, officer, why you pull me over? Hey, just to let you know, this is why I stopped you today. So when some of these people say, can you cite what law that is? Instead of you going, well, I just don't know, that's not professional. No, and I didn't have that ability. Trust me, I didn't have that ability. I didn't know, 11601B, you were speeding, whatever. It is what it is. I'm demanding that our law enforcement hold themselves to a higher standard. And the reason why is when you are phenomenally proficient in your firearms training, well, then your rounds are accountable when they go down range. And when you use your pistol for deadly force scenario, then the public maybe could back you a little bit better. When you know exactly why you could pull somebody over and you don't argue with a First Amendment auditor who's purposely trying to get you all riled up, and you know, hey, listen, there's nothing this guy's doing that's breaking the law, I'm going to leave. Or, hey, yeah, he's riling me up, but I see something lawful to arrest him on. Yeah, I know that it's going to be retribution in some of your minds, and the public's going to say, you only arrested him because X, Y, and Z. Well, motherfucker was breaking the law. So it's a fair game. We're going to play both sides of the coin here. Know what you're doing. Know what you're doing. I think when police officers, they are at the highest standard possible at the knowledge of their job, if they act more than human, not better, but more than human, meaning that, yeah, when you're dealing with a shitty, thankless, criminal, fucked up public that hates your guts, that's not your problem. Your problem is you get paid to deal with a shitty, fucked up, hateful, thankful public that just can't stand you. That's your job. You don't like it, quit. Go somewhere else. You have the badge, the authority to take away somebody's life and or freedom on a daily basis, if necessary. So when we say, oh, cops are only human, holy shit, are you giving them a scapegoat for not knowing their job the right way? And some of you fucking bootlickers out there, man, I sat there and earlier during the week, I criticized a wrong quote. I'll make a public apology to Sheriff Grady Judd. Something was going around the internet that I saw in an article. And the article was pulled that said Sheriff Grady Judd said, and I got the quote, I believe, memorized. If you kill a policeman, it means no arrest, no Miranda, no negotiations. We just shoot as many bullets into you as we can, period. And I was like, are you fucking serious? He just admitted he will violate somebody's Miranda rights, civil rights, all this shit. And the amount of people who supported that, well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Oh, well, somebody deserves it. We love our Sheriff Grady Judd, all this. Number one, he didn't say that. The Polk County Sheriff's Office reached out to me, asked me to sit there and remove the video. 100% I did after they wound up clarifying he didn't say that. And I issued a public apology. You can see it here on all of my social media to Sheriff Grady Judd. But the problem I have is, how many of you citizens think that, I saw this quote by Edward Snowden that said something along the lines of being okay with a government going through your stuff because you have nothing to hide is the same as not supporting free speech because you have nothing to say. And I put that in the space of, well, it's also like you being okay with the cops violating somebody's civil rights because you'll never break the law. Some of you don't understand that it's no longer a bad apple, a few bad apples. It's a fucking rotten orchard. And when you go along the lines, because how many people accuse me of saying, you only put out bad cop videos. Why is it? Are you a fucking cop hater? You hate cops? My question is always, why are there so many bad cop videos out there? And if you say, well, there's infinitely more good cop videos circulating out there, they just don't make it in the media. Okay, that's like you fucking cheating on your wife and then saying, well, wait a second, I cheated on you, but let's look at all the days and times where I didn't cheat on you. No, the standard for our cops, it needs to be super fucking human. It needs to be the highest possible. It blows me away how so many influencers out there in their businesses are talking about standards. But the bootlickers out there want to say, but our cops are only human. Motherfucker, dude. No, you need to have your police to have the highest standards of any profession out there. Because kids, when the cops fuck up, it's going to be on somebody you don't know, but the day they pull over your son, your daughter, your husband, your wife, your mother, whoever it is, for rolling a stop sign, and the cop had a bad day, and your mom or your son didn't get you the license out fast enough, and the cop ripped him out of the car because they're all unfucking checked, And the departments do not hold them accountable. Lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, barely any fucking terminations. It's more along the lines of resign and we'll let you move on to another department. Happens all the time. All the fucking time. Everybody asks me, well, you were a fired cop. Yeah, that's because I didn't do anything wrong. They said you can resign and we'll seal your fucking files. You can go to another department. Motherfuckers. Bring it. Fire me. I fought and I won because I was in the right. How many are in the wrong and never get held accountable? It's a simple question. Stop supporting cops who do not know their job, don't know the Constitution, and are fucking gonna turn on you. Where were you the last several years? During the fucking lockdowns where cops ripped you out of your churches and your gyms and your public hearing meetings, when your village hall, when your mayor says, get them out of here because they're not wearing a mask. You want to do this, support this, go right ahead. I don't. Now, here's the deal. Doesn't mean I'm anti-cop. I believe in pressuring the shit out of anybody out there so that they're their highest level. It's always in any type of training, you teach to the weakest link, and I think that's a cop-out. I think it's bullshit. I think it's weak. I think it's pathetic, and it's abysmal. No, fuck the weakest link. Every cop should have the highest standard possible, raise up to our level of expectations, know the law, know the Constitution, know your job, admit when you're wrong, and move forward with phenomenal integrity, and we will be honored to have you serve us and trust us. We'll have your back when it comes down for you to slip and err as a human. Do that, man, and we've got your back. But until then, no. Cops owe us a massive change. So I'm not anti-cop. What I am is step the fuck up. Be elite. Elite, the highest standard possible in service. Good to see you guys over in the chat. Sarah, Sailor, Outlaw George, Miter 999. It's good to see you guys. We do have a chat open if you guys are watching this live. Remember, we're live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Central. That's 10 Eastern. Let's talk today about something called keeping your mouths closed when you deal with law enforcement. It's pretty simple. I don't know how to say this. Do not speak to the police. Just don't. Cops are not your friend. They're really not. They're looking to get arrests. There's a lot of pressure on cops, and it's called performance evaluations. And you could translate them into quotas. Cops are expected to be accountable for their time on the street. They just can't drive around, do nothing. I mean, shit, when that happens, all of a sudden command staff comes down because command staff has to justify their existence to the mayors. Chief, wow, what's going on in town? Here's how chiefs keep their job. Fight crime. But crime has to exist in the first place. So the shittier chiefs let stuff goes on so that cops can arrest people and say, look, Mayor, look how many citations and DUIs we ran. And the chief is a circle jerk position. Their chief is just trying to keep their job. That's all they're trying to do. The chief keeping the cops happy doesn't keep his job. Chief has to keep the mayor happy. Chief has to keep the fucking mayor happy. So your cops are miserable from your command staff. Your command staff are backstabbing fucking cocksuckers who forgot what the job was like the second they got their fucking gold stars, bars, clovers, oak leaves, whatever the hell you want to call them. And you have a cyclical, who can I shit on thing. And for the most part, the patrol officer who is sandwiched between the shitty public, sometimes they're shitty families, and the shitty command staff, they're the worst ones off because they take their shit out on the citizens. It's absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. But they're not there to keep you as friends. Police, they're not there to help you. Do not believe a word they say. Cops can lie to you. Keep that in mind. They have the lawful right to lie to you, to get you to confess for shit. And they could do everything short of promising you things. But it doesn't mean they can't word things like that you would assume as a promise. Hey, listen, I'm just trying to help you out. I will go to bat for you like crazy, but man, I just need the truth out of you. Tell me what happened. Cops only ask questions they either ultimately already know the answer to, and they're looking for you, like the federal government, the FBI, right? You can get arrested for lying to the FBI. Well, that means the FBI is not going to ask you questions that they don't already have the answer to. So the FBI comes knocking at your door. Call your fucking lawyer. Do not speak to the FBI. Police officers come walking your door. They can possibly already know the answers, or they don't know shit, and they're looking to get everything out of you so that you provide them the facts, the evidence, the narrative to construct the story they want, to send it to the prosecuting attorney, the DA or the SA, and they make the decision. Do not think that when you go willingly to a police station to talk to cops that they have any say in what's going on. The detectives answer to whoever's above them. Sergeants, commanders, lieutenants, they take all the shit that is in the interview process that you do with them, and they call the on-call state's attorney or district attorney. This is what I got. Now the onus is off then. The state either says, yeah, cut him loose, or send him to bond court. Period. So don't think I'm going to tell the cop everything, and the cop's going to walk away for a cup of coffee, come back, go, all right, you're good, you can go. You can almost 100% err on the side of certainty that if you go to a police station, the only way you're leaving is in handcuffs and to be transported in front of a judge. That's it. Shulamite's good to see you. Jamal Chambers, what's going on, dude? How are you? I'll get to the chat in a little bit. This is a story from May 26th. Police threaten to kill man's dog if he does not falsely confess to killing father. Police officers in California threatened to euthanize a man's dog if he did not confess to killing his father, who was alive. In an interrogation in 2018, Thomas Perez Jr. was told by officers that his dog would need to be put down due to depression from witnessing a murder that actually did not occur. After 17 hours of interrogation, Mr. Perez falsely confessed and tried to kill himself. Footage of the coerced false confession has sparked outrage in the U.S., and the city of Fontana has now agreed to pay Mr. Perez $889,000 after a judge ruled that the questioning appeared to be unconstitutional psychological torture. The ordeal began on August 7th, 2018, when Mr. Perez's father left home with their dog to collect his post, his mail, and the dog returned home alone. The following day, Mr. Perez called the police to report his father missing and was taken in for questioning. Police claimed to have found bloodstains in the house and said police dogs smelled the presence of a corpse. During the interrogation, where the two officers accused of Mr. Perez of murder, he started pulling at his hair, hitting himself, and tearing off his shirt. Mr. Perez also begged for medical attention, was reportedly told he did not need psychiatric medication. The judge noted that Mr. Perez was, quote, sleep-deprived, mentally ill, and significantly undergoing symptoms of withdrawal from his psychiatric medications. After several hours, detectives falsely told Mr. Perez that his father's body had been located with stab wounds. The complaint says, at this point, Mr. Perez falsely confessed and was left alone in the room where he tried to hang himself. Jerry Steering, Mr. Perez's lawyer, said, quote, the case shows that the police are skilled enough and they grill you enough they can get anybody to confess to anything. Mr. Perez was taken to the hospital on involuntary psychiatric hold and read his rights for the first time. Later, if that's the case, I don't know if these cops are still employed. I don't. These cops need to be... I'll go extreme. Ugh. Oh, I'm gonna wait a second. Let's fucking wait a second. Later that night, one of the detectives received the call that Mr. Perez's father had been located and was alive. Mr. Steering said that police did not inform his client that the father was alive. Instead, Mr. Perez was kept isolated in psychiatric hold for 3 days, believing both his father and his dog had been killed. The dog had been taken to the pound and was later rescued. Fontana police have not issued a statement or said if the officers face a disciplinary action. Fuck both of those domestic terrorist cop cunts. We need swift, aggressive, threat of violence action to police officers who willingly violate the law and the Constitution. It needs to come to that. Maybe if the looming threat of I don't fucking torture to cops is evident, they will start fucking studying more, know the law more, do their job better and be careful not to fucking tread on people's civil rights. This is the story. I haven't seen this yet. There was a 17-hour investigation. And for those who don't know, I'm not going to talk about it yet. But the reason why this is so personal for me, this false confession shit, is that my police chief, and I'll talk about this more as time goes on, was involved with 2 cases for false confession, both women that he bullied, both tortured them psychologically. They are both serving time in Illinois State Penitentiary for murders they did not commit. There is mountains of evidence that proves that it doesn't. And there was no accountability. No accountability. I will be going into great detail in the future on this channel. The more it grows, the more eyeballs I want on it. I want this story told. I want police accountability held. I have such anger and fucking hatred and vitriol for corrupt police who bully innocent, weaker-minded people. Cops are fucking bullies, dude. They really are. And if you don't believe they are, oh, you're cop hating. Your job is to serve the public at the highest standard possible. Why? Why do we have so many videos of cops coming out using force so much greater than necessary? You pussies can't put people in handcuffs with half the fucking force that you use. You pussies pick on fucking weak-minded people. You pussies charge everybody with shit all over the place. And if you fucking hate me, I hope you do. I hope you hate my guts. I hope you call me a blue falcon. I hope you call me a fucking disgrace to the badge. Because if that's what it takes for some cop out there who's on patrol to say, shit, dude, what happened to this guy that he loved being a cop and now he hates the profession? And then you know my story. You read my fucking book, Before the Badge, Everything You Need to Know Before You Become a Cop. You see the path that I took. You follow everything I went through and you go, holy shit, dude. This job is about being the best version of myself so I can serve other people. That's all integrity. It is the pure definition of integrity. But what do we have? We have Instagram cops. We have TikTok bikini model cops. We have female cops out there who throw stones in glass houses that they shouldn't because the people they're dating are on fucking Brady list for violations and who have been allegedly fired by 2 departments. But we have so many people out there who criticize people who say, hey, you know what, public? Yeah, we do work for you. And we need to do a much better fucking job instead of dishing out what the public thinks people deserve. See, the thing of it is, the shithead who rapes a child and then stabs somebody else 40 fucking times, you know what they still deserve? Due process. They really do. And it sucks. And the sad thing is, even the citizens, the reason why why I think that the cops are superior to citizens is, you, John Q. Public, you may not think that John Q. shithead who just raped a fucking kid and then stabbed a woman 50 times, you may not think that person deserves due process. But the Constitution says they do. And it's the job of the cops to say, as much as I fucking hate this, my job is not to administer punishment. That's the court's job. I have to fucking be the best version of myself, exercise restraint, take them into custody, bring them to fucking court. Even when the liberal district and state's attorneys will fuck at their job, will screw you over, and will release that person without bond. Without the Constitution, without due process, without civil rights, we have nothing. We're a mob fucking rules culture. And the sad thing is, what you guys don't realize is, today, it's somebody else. Tomorrow, it's going to be you. Tomorrow, it's going to be you. You guys don't fucking realize that. You don't realize that maybe you don't like the fact that John Q. Public, man, he stabbed somebody, raped somebody, and the whole fucking mob tuned him up and killed him on site, this and that. And then tomorrow, you were out playing your music too loud, and your neighbor doesn't like it. And fucking he puts on Facebook that, holy shit, you got your dog baking out in the sun, and people hate that because they can't stand fucking people who leave their dogs out in the sun, and you're out sunning yourself in your backyard with your music playing, and then the guy says, oh shit, I'm just trying to get some sleep, and then he gets people to empathize with him, call the cops come over and tune your fucking ass up. You don't realize how shit rolls downhill in that way. You just don't. So stop licking fucking boots. Demand your police officers do better, adhere to the Constitution, embrace the fact we have civil rights, due process, and every shit bag out there deserves it. And that's what makes us the better, superior culture and country. You want to give that away? I don't, and I'll fight you tooth and nail for it every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Let's watch this together.
Your dad.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Yeah,
Yes.
Daddy's dead because of you.
Hours of interrogation. Police lying to a suspect in the Inland Empire until he falsely confesses to murder. And now the city of Fontana is paying a massive settlement tonight after police questioned a man for 17 hours until he confessed to killing his father, who's still alive. KCAL News reporter Tom Waite joins us now with what led up to this false and really hard to watch confession.
It was, Pat, and I watched many hours of this intense interrogation, and it really, it's very eye-opening, and we'll get to it in just a second here. But the video of the interrogation is fascinating and disturbing. An innocent man spends hours being grilled by police. When it's over, he's in the throes of a full mental breakdown, and under pressure, he lies to detectives about killing his own father.
We don't think you're a monster, Thomas.
Fontana police detectives grilling Thomas Perez Jr. after Perez Jr. reported his father missing.
Couple different things. There's interrogations and then there's interviews, right? It's as simple as this. Number one, keep this in mind. I'm going to say this until I'm fucking blue in the face or die. Fish only get caught when they open their mouths. Let's keep your mouths closed. Very simple, right? Am I free to leave? Am I being detained? I want my lawyer. Am I being detained? Am I free to leave? I want my lawyer. That's it. Not do I need a lawyer? Don't ask that question. Well, you don't need a lawyer. No, you don't need a lawyer. They can say that you don't need a lawyer. Technically, you don't need a lawyer. Why does everybody glance over? You have the right to remain silent. If you give up the right to remain silent, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney present while you're being questioned. If you give up the right to an attorney being questioned, you still have the right to stop answering any questions I missed the step about if you cannot afford to hire an attorney. One will be appointed to the court to represent you if you wish one. And if you choose to answer questions now without the lawyer present, you still have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer, right? Why do we used to read through that so damn fast, why can't we just go? You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that? You do not have to talk to me. You can stay quiet. We don't do that. What is it? You have the right to remain silent. I want to time how fast I could do this, right? I want to see how good I am. All right. I'm starting now. It's an interview. I've got you, and boom. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you by the courts if you wish one. If you choose to answer any questions now without a lawyer present, you still have the right to stop answering any questions and talk to a lawyer. Do you understand these rights as I've read them to you? 20.51 seconds. You think somebody that just got pulled in, and I fucked that up somewhere. I know I did. And it's on a sheet of paper that we read it, right? So if I read that in 21 seconds and you're being brought in and you don't know why, do you think you heard a word I fucking said? What? So if the cops are doing this, you think it maybe if you're good at your job, you don't need a false confession. Hey, you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand what that means? Okay, if you don't I know you said you do. Let me explain it to you. Do you understand? You do not have to speak to me. You can shut up right now. You could refuse to talk to me as much as you want. Just to let you know, I have the right to hold you for 72 hours while I conduct my investigation. That means you're not free to leave. You can't go anywhere. You're going to be here and detained. We're going to feed you 2-3 times a day. You'll get a phone call for your lawyer once a day, this and that, but you don't have to talk to me. Do you understand that? Yes, you do. Let's go on to the next one. Why are we not doing that? Why are we not doing that? Because you hope to glance over it so much, right? So much that the people are going to go, oh yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Hey, you have the right to remain silent, right? You want to be their fucking friend. So you build a rapport. You exercise the read technique, and you're watching them look up and to the left or up and to the right and trying to determine if their body language, oh, you're defensive. You're defensive. You've got your arms folded. You got something to hide. Fuck. Don't talk to the police. Don't talk to the police. when you're scared, you give up more information. You rat on yourself. They take the information. They spin the narrative how they need to for convictions. Don't talk to the police. Am I being detained? Officer, listen, I'm not trying to be confrontational. You don't even have to fucking do that. You can say whatever you want. Officer, am I being detained? Yes, you are. I want a lawyer. Period. Done. End of conversation. Am I free to leave? If you look at this circumstance, the way for interviews versus interrogation is a little bit harder, meaning a little bit more aggressive. Interviews, you face the door, right? Because they want you to have the illusion that there's an exit point for you. But if you look, one cop is off camera here. They are both cornering him, and the door is either on the side here or behind them. They are cutting him off from the door. It's psychological trapment and bullying, period, right? You'll see one cop still has his under the suit jacket detective's gun holster brace on. Get it off. It's intimidating. If you're in there interviewing somebody, A, no pistols, B, he still had, it looks like ammunition, his magazines. Get him off. It's intimidation, right? There are two men who are bullying him. I would have to assume that 15 minutes into a dialogue with this guy, you'd know that he's mild-mannered, soft, and a little bit weak of mind. I'm not a fan of female cops. This is where they come in. If they can do the job properly, or one cop in the room. One cop in the room. Keep your mouth shut. If the door is shut, you're being interrogated. Sorry, I'm not saying a word till I talk to my lawyer. I appreciate your time. That's it. End of story. Let's continue with this.
This interrogation descends into what's being described as psychological torture after the detectives extract a false murder confession from Perez.
We just told you we found your dead dad, and you don't give a
That detective is lying.
We just told you we found your dead dad. You don't give a fuck. Yeah, they're trying to make... People want to please police officers. Now, understand something. What's my experience with false confessions? Fucking people lie all the time, right? And the first one I ever had was 2001. I was still on probation. I was still in FTO. I was on afternoons. So it was my second month as a police officer. I'm in afternoons, and there's a call of a dead baby found in a dumpster behind the movie theater of our town. So fucking, it's a big ordeal. You know, probably they found the baby like 10 o'clock at night. My shift was 3 to 11. I wound up staying because I had to secure the area. So probably 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And right around 2 o'clock in the morning, all the detectives are high-fiving. Good job, good job, good, high five, good job. Because they picked up a homeless woman, apparently a known homeless woman that was in the area. And they bought her a sandwich. They talked to her. They befriended her. You know, they empathized with her. They built the rapport. And she confessed to giving birth to the baby, not wanting the baby, and throwing it in the dumpster and allowing it to die. She was arrested, charged. They wrote up the non-traffic citation, fucking sent her to bond court. She went to bond court the next day. DNA testing proved that the baby wasn't even hers. Yeah. Don't talk to the cops, dude. Don't fucking talk to the cops.
Perez Sr. was not dead, but in this moment, Fontana detectives don't know where he is. Perez Jr. reported him missing after they had an argument. A search warrant was served at the family home. Perez Sr.'s wallet, cell phone, and even some bloodstains were discovered. A canine also alerted to the odor of possible human remains. Detectives unleash an unrelenting interrogation of Perez Jr.
You murdered your dad.
Also, look at the room. It's institutionalized. The shitty fucking neutral color that's going to drive you nuts. It's normally either really AC'd, so it's cold. It's cold. The tables are either nailed down or secured down. Hard plastic chairs. You know, it's not comfortable at all. They have soft interview rooms where they normally bring victims in, children in, this and that. But for the interview and interrogation, it's void of all human fucking emotions, and it makes you feel scummy and disenfranchised from human beings. And it's draining mentally and emotionally. And the lighting, they have that shitty institutionalized fluorescent lighting that you just get a headache from being in, and it stinks because there's no fucking circulation. If there is, it's horrible.
No, I did
Yes, you
not.
did.
Yeah,
Yes.
Daddy's dead because of you.
No.
Yes, not only that, but poor Morgan here.
Margot.
Margo.
Margot had to witness it.
Yep. I walked through the blood.
It's probably a service dog that it's allowed in there for. It's the only reason I can think of it, or like your I don't recall what the dogs are called when they're there for your emotional support dog. That's what it is. It's probably why it's there.
Yeah.
Which, if the dog is there, emotional support, because otherwise cops would transfer it over to animal control depending upon the time of day, then they know this guy's got emotional problems. So if they know he has emotional problems and you're bullying him like this, these cops need to be fucking waterboarded. These cops need to be fucking tortured. I don't care how much that pisses you off. I really don't. If you have the right and responsibility and you're torturing another human being to get a confession when you don't have all the facts and the evidence, and they willfully and intentionally torture this man, these cops need to have the living shit beat out of them. They really do. I think it needs to be extreme, their punishment. I hope they're doxxed. I hope the public knows where they are. And I hope their families and lives are fucked with because they're pieces of shit cunts. They're terrorists.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
The psychological effects of hours of grilling take their
Look at
toll.
here's the body position too. This intimidating half I'm here to be with you, the other half I'm overbearing of you. This makes my blood boil because you're supposed to serve and protect and uphold the law and the Constitution and keep the peace and maintain order in a free society. But if this guy did, right, if you had the only time, this is my view, the only time to go this hard, if not worse, in an interrogation, pound the desk, scream at the suspect, this and that, is if you have irrefutable fucking proof. Meaning you got it on fucking nanny cam that this person just murdered their father, fucked his eye holes, poured gasoline all over the body, and it's like the highest def 4K fucking audio, video, 3-dimensional body fucking nanny cam shit, and it's there. And you got this guy's, he's covered in blood, dried fucking semen, all this shit. You got him, and now, in an attempt to solidify the case, you really want him to confess to it so that there's no, so now we can confess it, and you stay within the fucking law to do so. We got you. You fucking killed your father, didn't you? You're a piece of shit, didn't you? I'm all for that. I'm all for that. This shit, I'd love to cram fucking that dog's fucking shit right down your throats.
Detectives keep pushing. Perez spirals further. Eventually, Perez Jr. makes a false confession to killing his father. All this, and 71-year-old Perez Sr. was alive. He went to his girlfriend's home, but didn't have his cell phone. Perez Jr.'s attorney.
The worst act of deliberate cruelty that I've seen suing the police for 40 years. I've been suing the police for 40 years, and I've never seen the cops be that cruel to someone.
Steering on behalf of Perez Jr. sued Fontana and won a nearly $900,000 settlement. This all unfolded back in 2018, but the case was just finalized.
I never thought that it was easy, maybe even possible, to get a completely innocent person confess to something like that. But after I watched the video,
It happens more than you think about, and I'll tell you now. Start researching Melissa Kaluzinski from Lake County, Illinois, and Marnie Yang from Lake County, Illinois. They were both tortured into false confessions for murder by my former police chief. I'm going to be talking about that.
And watch the interrogation of Tom Perez. What I divined is that they could get you and I to confess to killing Abe Lincoln if they wanted to. It's unbelievable. And they're not amateurs, and they know what they're doing, and they know how to do it.
Steering says even after detectives learned Perez Sr. was alive, they did not tell Perez Jr. Instead, they had him held for mental distress.
Once they learn this, instead of telling him that because of what they did to him, they 5150 him. They place him on a civil protective custody hold, have him taken to the mental hospital, and then they tell the hospital that he's in custody and that he can't have anybody contacting him.
We reached out to Fontana Police and the city of Fontana before the end of business today for comment, but we did not hear back. So, Pat, you saw it there. Very intense stuff.
Intense and very bizarre, actually, Tom. And the big question I'm sure everybody wants to know, why did the police do it?
Yeah, and you know,
Because they can. That's it. That's ultimately the reason for anything. You know, one of the things that we have to admit to, right? And I'm if you've ever followed any of my other content, you know that when it comes down to certain cultures, I'm very hard on them. You know, I'm very vocal about the violence in the black community. It's out of control. It's abhorrent, and it's a cultural phenomenon that the black community keeps blaming on everybody but themselves until they step up and go, yeah, we do have an epidemic of violence in our culture. We seriously do. With cop culture, you have to come out and say, yes, we are drunk with power. If you find a cop who says they are not drunk with power, they are lying through their fucking teeth. I was. How can you not? I don't care. See, you could be drunk, but your level of impairment is different. I was drunk with power, but I didn't abuse my service, right? I didn't abuse my authority. But I love knowing I can speed anywhere and never get pulled over. Back when I was younger, go to the bars, you flash your badge, go right in. I could get in a fight if that was the case. As long as my department didn't find out about it, fucking nothing was going to happen to me. I was at a bar in Chicago in 2003 watching a football game, and I was armed. I didn't drink. I was off duty, and I was armed. I was authorized to carry in the state of Illinois, wherever. And the next thing I know, apparently, somebody saw my shirt rise up, and they saw my pistol on my hip. Next thing you know, I'm surrounded by fucking 5 Chicago police officers. All they did was they looked at me and go, you a cop? And I said, yeah. I said, I'm going to show you my badge. Showed them my badge. They looked at it. They gave it back to me. They all walked away. Do you have any idea how fucking amazing that felt? Me. Here's 5 Chicago police officers, right? What does the public expect to happen? That they're going to jam me against the bar, put my hands behind my back to drag me out? Instead, it's, yeah, I'm a cop. Here's my badge. All 5 of them turn around and walk right out. It's like, yeah, fucking put eggs in your shoes and beat it. That's how it fucking was, dude. Power. Fucking power. You look at all these Instagram cops who talk shit about the public. Oh, this and that. And I swear, if every one of them was stripped of their fucking badges and authorities and pistols today, they would have nothing. Their identity is the authority, the power you give them as citizens, and it's intoxicating. It's fucking intoxicating. And they only do shit because they can. Pissing off the police tickets. POP, right? And I saw this shit. Everything I'm saying, I did. The last pursuit I remember getting into, well, the second to last pursuit I remember getting into, guy ran from me. It was a 3-minute police chase. I had the biggest adrenaline dump on the planet. And I retraced my steps from the time I stopped him to the time he ran. 31 citations I gave him. I wrote him 31 tickets. I counted every fucking lane change that he didn't make, every stop sign he blew through, every fucking just signal here and there. 31 citations because he pissed me off. Pissed me off. He had a new trainee. 2015 pulls over a woman. I fucking didn't stop at a stop sign. Comes, fucking bitch. What do you got her on? I'm going to write this bitch everything. Why? Because she just gave me attitude. I say it all the time. If you want to test your law enforcement, put up a Facebook post. Hey, All my cop supporters and cop friends out there, how many of you either support police officers doing this, or how many of you cops do this? Base your traffic citation on the issuance, or the issuing traffic citation on the attitude and words of the driver. Watch everybody and their mother say, "Oh, I do. Oh yeah, I 100%. I issue my traffic citation on the driver's attitude, or because they can be cordial to me. They can. First Amendment, motherfucker." This has been. I saw that video earlier today, and it ruined my day because I know how often it happens. I know how often weak cops pick on fucking weak people because they can, and it feels fucking good because you're at home and your bitch wife just nags at you all day long, and your little snot-nosed little fucktard kids, yeah, they didn't do their homework and they're getting in trouble in school and they're giving you attitude, and you have all the power in the world you have on the street, you don't have for shit at home, and your wife gives you shit. Oh, you gonna play fucking cop at home now? Oh my God, dude, when I dated, that's like you want to see cop wives or cop girlfriends. They know that you can't pull that shit with them at home. So they're just all up in your shit. So what are you going to do? You're going to go to work, and you're going to take your shit out on the citizens, and you're going to take it out on the weakest link. And the worse, the more nervous someone is, the more inarticulate somebody is, the more you're going to fucking pick on them. And the public, you public support this dishing out justice on the street because you see the cycle of DAs and SAs not prosecuting properly. You see shit like your federal government open border policies, which is flooding the streets with criminal behavior who have no accountability. They're not assimilating to our society. They're coming in. That's a different story too. I do not believe that any illegal criminal invader deserves a fucking civil right. I don't believe that the illegal immigrants who are coming over here deserve due process. I believe if you're a migrant who illegally invaded this country and you rape and kill someone, you should be shot in the fucking face in the middle of the street instantly. No due process. None. None. That's what I believe, because you are not a citizen of this country. Therefore, you do not have constitutional rights granted you by God. You don't. That's just my view. Well, we can't do that. So what do we have to do? You have to uphold the highest values and the highest standards of being a cop, and you have to enforce that because you lose your fucking soul. You lose yourself. And some of you fucking love it. Some of you fucking love, you salivate like a wild bunch of rabid fucking dogs that just find a bone, and you're almost like hate masturbating when you watch the fucking YouTube videos of the cops bashing somebody's head off the fucking sidewalk because that person just shot a clerk in a liquor store. Yeah, that's what you want? Hey, I can't wait until the day they turn on you. I can't wait until the day you're like, well, officer, I've got a blue line patch or an FOP fucking sticker on my bumper. I back the blue. You think they fucking care? Do you know how many cops purposely pull people over who have the FOP fucking emblems on their car? Because you're not one of them. You're not. You're blue. Dude, try it. Fucking try it. And so many of you know it. You guys wear your blue line flag shirts, your blue line fucking hats. You got your tattoo, and you're not a cop. And you walk up to them when they're having a coffee break at 7-Eleven or the gas station, and there's 3, 4, 5 of them. You're like, hey guys, what's going on? They're like, yeah. You know what their attitude is like. They don't give a shit about you. And the ones who do, they're ostracized by the rest of the fucking cops in the department. Oh, he thinks he's better than us. Oh, he fucking, yeah. It's an ostracization because all of a sudden you give a shit and you realize that, fuck, I get paid pretty decently and I could do anything I want. Let's not mince words here. When you're a cop, you could do whatever the fuck you want. You can. You really can. You get free shit all the time. You get people who fucking really wanted to make sure that, that it's out of fear and a hope that you will give them a break, or you won't do X, Y, and Z. So they buy your, I want to buy these cops their breakfast, their dinner, this and that. They do all that shit just so that they think they can have an inside track so that you will fucking give them a break next time. You think they're fucking there for your help, and you're going to answer their questions? You're going to talk to them? Oh, officer, yeah, I want to help you out. Yeah. Oh, let's see. What do you want to know? Close your door. If they don't resist. If they take you into custody, fucking take you into custody. Because the other problem I'm having a hard time with this one. If the public is fine with cops violating civil rights to somebody who broke the law and administering street punishment, somebody answer me this question. Then why, if a cop illegally performs a search or a seizure, why can't a U.S. citizen use force, deadly force, to defend themselves against the fucking cop in the process of them executing an illegal search or seizure? Why? Maybe it needs to happen more. I'm not well liked in the law enforcement community, and I couldn't give a shit. I hope to reach one police officer, one, who says, yeah, fuck this Izzo guy. But you know what? I do want to be higher standard. I want to be what I should have been. And what I should have been was I should have shut my fucking mouth. I should have stayed in the department. I should have made their lives a living fucking hell instead of fucking retiring. And I should have studied and knew the law. And I should have taken every fucking arrow they were going to throw at my back because they were going to do it. And I should have fucking been chief. I should have done that. I should have raised the rank of my little department and spent another fucking 15, 20 years there and been chief and then made everybody else's lives hell because I held them to a higher fucking standard. And that should have been the standard of law enforcement across the nation. That's what should have happened. But I didn't do it. You can. You can. Your coworkers are going to get you into fucking trouble. The cops are the biggest abusers of DUI drunk driving out there. You know they are. They fucking are slobs. They have no fitness fucking standards. They're the exception of police officers out there who are fit are not the rule. The rule is the fat, out of shape, non-caring, shithead to citizen cop who doesn't know the law, is phoning it in every day. They fucking make it up as they go. They're just burning the clock and the calendar until their time is done to collect their pension. That's not you. If you serve 5 years, serve 5 years with the greatest of ability that you have. If you serve 20, 30 years, be the cop that everybody hates because you are self-righteous. Your uniform is flawlessly tailored. You are in phenomenal shape. You give a shit about the people you serve. You do. Because the day that something happens to you and you leave, you can hold your head up fucking high. And you could say, fuck the rest of the people in the department. I actually was a righteous cop who fucking did the job the right way. I just want one cop. I just want one fucking cop to sit there and just be that ripple in the pond. And you'll be hated. Dude, I'm fucking hated. I got so many people come to my social media shit and they fucking think I care about stuff. And you know what? I am bitter. Oh, I'm so fucking bitter. I am angry. I'm so fucking angry because I should have fucking stayed. I was a pussy. I fucking retired. I should have made the difference that I'm talking about, but I can't. Ooh, I ran for sheriff. Ooh, fucking anybody can. I'm making a noise. Yeah, you know what though? I should have gone back and done something about it. I didn't. So instead, I will shoot my big mouth off and say, fuck. You have the job that puts you in a position that makes you better than other human beings. And yes, cops are better than other human beings because they take the shit no one else can fucking take. And they do it to serve you, the public, who hates them, challenges them, fucking disrespects them, pulls a First Amendment auditor on them just to agitate them, to see the worst they could bring out so their YouTube videos click up, all that shit. And those cops take it. You can go home, man. You could put your head on your pillow at night. Sacrifice shit like your family leaves you. Your girlfriend can't stand how much time you're spending. It's a choice. It's a fucking choice. Know the law, know the Constitution. Make sure your tactics are flawless. Get 100% at the range all the time. Don't get pass or fail. Know when you could use force, deadly or fucking otherwise, and use it righteously. And the second the fucking handcuffs are on, remember, it's just a job. It's just a job. Sometimes you win, sometimes the bad guys win, but ultimately the country wins because we follow that Constitution and we embrace it. It's just a fucking job. But keep your mouth shut if you're a citizen. If a cop is worth their salt in how investigation skills, they'll find out what you did. You'll be fucked. If you truly did it, you'll be fucked. But you can't guarantee that the prosecutors are going to do anything about it. So the circle goes on, and sometimes the fucking cat gets the mouse, and sometimes the mouse gets away. But ultimately, it's going to get its fucking, run over by the semi that's rolling past it later on down the street. I don't fucking care. Shut your fucking mouth if you're a citizen. Don't talk to the cops. Let them do their job. And if you're a cop, do your job the right way. Guys, my passion for changing the culture of police officer to having them walk taller, having them know but not act that they are better than other human beings will put them in a position to stay better than other human beings for the time that they wear the uniform. Sir Robert Peel's 9 principles of policing. You come from the public and you are the police, right? The police are the public and the public are the police. You come from the public, you serve your time serving the public, you will go back to the public like I am. During that time, have the most righteous fucking attitude, righteous mindset, righteous ability, do everything possible to uphold the law, the Constitution, keep the peace and maintain order in a free society, and serve the fucking people. Because, your fellow cops are not your friends. You know they'll backstab you in a fucking heartbeat. And if you haven't experienced that yet, you will. Keep your fucking mouth shut. Don't talk to the police. Remember, fish only get caught when they open their mouths. Don't forget, support Spreely.com. Free speech platform. You'll check out all the shows there, like our show, The Rants of Izzo, live Monday through Friday at noon Central, 1 Eastern. The Shannon Joy Show, The Dumb Show, Don't Learn From Me Show, The Burn Pit Podcast, Report and Opine, Evening Rants, and more. And there's a social media site on there where it's free speech. Other than that, guys, be safe out there. Have a great damn night. Keep yourselves safe. Keep yourself very updated with the law. Know the law. Exercise the law. Enforce the law. Enforce your rights. At the same time, understand that it's all about service. I can't control what cops do. I can't control what the citizens does. There are going to be shithead people out there who are just scumbags who they don't deserve to live on this planet. They just don't. But that's not the job of the cop to determine that. And maybe citizens, you don't like the way shit is fucking done, get more involved with your village. Go to your village halls. Go contact your senators, your congressmen. Talk about these laws changing, all this kind of shit. But don't blame the fucking police officers for shit that you were too fucking lazy to take care of yourself. That's how we change it on both ends. Be safe out there, guys. I'll see you on the next video.